happens or your life. So if somebody says that, well, we use fossil fuel and maybe we have floods here and there, and it does happen. We are all living in it, aren't we? So what do you think? Do you think that maybe the way forward is to just let's live our lives and let's see what happens? Or are we all going to say that let's hear what the experts are saying about the global warming and the fact that temperatures have gone higher? You know, in advanced countries that have used all these fossil fuel and all sorts, okay, to advance the economy. I say, let's do that now. Now, you have not started yours. Isn't that going to have the money to be given to you? And even if they give it, Argentina begins shock therapy by devaluing their peso. And that's a first move by the new president. Entire MP convicted for posts insulting the monarchy. So we see, freedom is not free, you know. When they say democracy, you can't insult the monarchy because they didn't do the right thing. And intruders spray colored gas in India Parliament. Some of the stories making the rounds there as well. And final one, Brooklyn Nine-Nine star Andre Brugger dies age 61. Brugger often portrayed a groove policeman, but in roles both dramatic. Both in roles, both dramatic and comedic. It's all coming away from Starr Radio. Okay, here in the UK, Sunak sees of Tory revolt over Rwanda bill, but well, come January, when everything has to come back to Parliament, the question is, will he have a free hand to be able to do that, or will he be having a divided party to do so? That is the question, because those who are, should I call them moderate conservatives, are saying that, well, we think that it's okay the way it is. We don't have to go outside various the rule of law properly or human rights and all that. And the ones on the right, the far right, are saying that, look, we have to be, intensify the whole thing. Make it stronger, more robust, so that we can get it. Now, it's gone through, yes. They managed to get, I think, 44 votes more. Okay, they won by 44 votes. But the question is, come next year, will he have enough to support him there? The MOD has fined after email blunder risks Afghan lives. A mass email revealed details of more than 200 people who the UK was trying to help flee the Taliban. Oh boy. Final one, Rastafarian soldiers. Okay, Rastafarian soldier raised racism case against army. Great Pile Gray, an ex-guardsman, says a colleague doubted he was a soldier due to his appearance. Oh boy. Okay, so this is a lot more going to be coming your way. Let's take a music break. We'll be having Mr. Koikimedia joining us in a moment. But this comes from where?
I don't want the music because it's going to have impact on my broadcast. Good morning, everyone. On Wednesday, there's no time after the Starr Radio. We end all the broadcasts, and you will join us later on in the evening, where we're going to talk about the naira scarcity and so many other problems in the contraction called Nigeria. So, a very good morning and welcome as we join the studio in just about a few minutes. Very, very few minutes. So immediately I finish, I'm going to shut down the old system because I've got to start moving. I have a long day to go. So I need to sọ̀rọ̀ kankan ju pé ẹ pàdé wa nírọ̀lẹ́ ní Starr Radio. So that will be in the evening. Okay, I'm going to need this one quickly. Yeah, Emma Bineta Wambiba. So this one should be going now. I hope so. Authentication. Yep. Just continue in English. Now we're good on Facebook. So good morning, Line Consibubua. So Tibashen Pari, I'm gonna just shut everything down. And it is sort of you pay Kekpadewa Nirole. Nibati Batu Padawa. Latiwa Soro. Ni Orieto Starr Radio. But I'll be giving you the snip as I travel on the bus. Okay, I love the bus network. Shout out to all the Koikimedia team. We've done very well this 2023, when it comes to our message of hope on our platforms. So let me call Archie because we're very pressed with time this morning. Okay, make sure my background is not showing when I go into the studio mode. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé ṣé dáadáa ni mo bá gbogbo wa. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá á bọ́ nínú oko ẹrú Nigeria. It's just a matter of how soon la mọ̀. But we will continue to use whatever we have. Okay, my camera needs to come on. And I need to now, 4 minutes already is gone. So I need to go live now. Already exhausted. I don't want my background to show too much, so I'm just going to leave it like this because I can't waste too much time. And the time is right. So let's go live here. And I can adjust. Good morning, everyone, once again. So let's join the action now. Okay, let's start with Tinubu with the background. Adjust my camera. Yeah, no. Benin 13, so it's countdown to Christmas. Let's go. I don't want the sound coming into my broadcast. So I've paused it a little bit until I can see Archie's face coming back. Okay, I think Archie is coming now.
I've got Mr. Koikimedia, who was joining this morning. We're going to be bringing you everything that you need to know. And it's making the rounds from Nigeria this morning. So wherever you are, don't you go away. I guess a Wednesday edition of the morning show, and we are already impressed with time default position. We'll just click on and keep the program going on. But let me say, just bear with me. Let me get him on there. Yes. Good. And let me say, Yummy, good morning.
A very good morning to you back in the studio, Mr. Archie. Good morning, Frank. Good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the world. And welcome once again to the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. I say good morning and let's kickstart because we're really pressed with time when it comes to Wednesday.
Yes. How are you doing? How is the family?
Well, like you always ask, the family doing very well. We're grateful. And I just hope as many families across Africa are doing very well with the little or no resources that the country have yet. They are still making sure that every household can at least have, a better life, even though we know things are not as rosy as many people see from.
It's quite an interesting one. But before we go on to the updates from Nigeria, let me ask you this question because it's been bothering me. I think when I was doing my submission earlier, when I did touch on that, let me say good morning once again to Olakunle. Lots of love to you as well. Now, we look at the fossil fuel, we look at COP28 that they've gone and everything. We look at the way this part of the world is developed. Let's take the UK where we live. And the way they've developed, they were using all sorts, what were they even using? Apart from fossil fuel,
Coal.
they were using all stuff. Yeah, coal. And that they've used all those things to better their lives, and we see all the development and advancement. Now they tell you that, you know what? Now you guys, we all need to stop using this because we think that the temperature of the world is rising up. And we have people who are in Nigeria this morning who have not had a cup of tea to drink. They're not sure whether even by close of the day they will have anything to eat. They are dying because of poverty. Okay? Now, how do you see that? How do you marry that what they are saying to what our people are seeing or the reality on the ground, Yomi?
Well, I mean, it just remind me, the business show that took place in London about 3 weeks ago precisely. And right there was also another event that was, going through, which was the the climate energy. So that means that, people that wants to kind of, give us, better, fossil fuels and energy, electric cars and all sort. You're quite right. I mean, this morning, I was following, one of our teams, the sister broadcast somewhere in Lagos Expressway. You're quite right. And these also remind us, how during the slave trade, during the colonialism, how, the British were able to extract as many of the coal from Enugu State, which, end up to UK, where it eventually become the revolution industrialization. They've now make so much out of it. We are not the one polluting the air. When we talk about the true major pollution in the world today is America and China, and they are not even funding it. They are not paying. I've literally followed the climate, summit that I believe, they've been a bit of extension. Many Nigerians and many Africans would disagree with the world today that we need to develop first before you can start telling us how and what we're going to use to make that development to the lives of our people that are suffering, even though we have what it takes. I'm telling you, we have what it takes. Osun State, as an example, has so much resources, and I'm going to link that now to one of our headlines, which Dele Alake says, and I quote, powerful Nigerians involved in illegal mining and terrorism. Who are the powerful Nigerians? It's not myself. It's not the basic man that is selling, tomatoes. It's not the one that is trying to struggle. But what we've seen is that Osun State, as an example, has vast amount of gold, but we still end up going to Dubai, where almost $155 million was, the exchange between Nigeria in sending the gold to United Arab Emirates. The next one was Switzerland, which almost 12 million. The question then is, why have we not been able to industrialize the resources of the gold mining and allow people to travel down to Osun State rather than every one of us trying to go to Dubai, not just for holiday? Many of our mothers have turned it to the business venture to go there and buy the gold and bring it back home and then sell it off.
Meanwhile, we are the ones where they are mining most of this gold from, and that is what Yomi is saying. So you ask yourself, our leaders, have they actually felt that do we need to just get rid of all of them? Just get rid of them. Maybe the youth, we can do something better. What do you think? Let us hear from you. Listen to Starr Radio UK. It's Alake Koikimedia in Love London studios. I'm actually here in the South studios, and we're bringing you updates from Nigeria. Well, on his chart behind you, you can see the president, and I think Dele. Is it him?
No, that's actually Akpabio. The Senate rubber stamp is the rubber stamp Senate president. He had his birthday with private jet, flew to Akwa Ibom, and that was on Saturday. You could see the, how these individuals care less in the midst of poverty.
Right. When it's time for them to go to the polls, our people will go and vote for them. These same people, they'll sit on our necks and break our necks, and we'll vote for them. But well, let's come to this this first story pertaining to Akere who has now begun medical leave. So what happened? What made him now decide, look, you know what, I want to stay out of my state, but I will receive this and then now let the deputy take over. You know what I mean?
It just shows the kind of politicians that we have, and many Nigerians are scared. I mean, we are outside the country, so and we have the right, to say the way it is without, mixing word. These are selfish individuals. Akere Dele is as selfish to himself and selfish to those that brought him in as members of the political party where people voted him. He returned back after 3 months. Many of his citizens, cannot even have access to travel to the nearest hospital, which are very expensive. And I'll give an example. One of our team on the ground yesterday, I was quickly informed by another team that says that, there's something not right, with this young boy. And I reached out to him straight away, and he said, well, I've been feeling uncomfortable, but I've been using the the local apps. Well, and I said to him straight away, that is not what you should be using. You should have told us so that we can tell you to go to the hospital. To be honest with you, Mr. Archie, it literally cost me 11,000 naira, which is nothing to somebody like me outside the country. 11,000 naira is almost almost like a wages of someone in Nigeria. So that means that people can literally die. I reached out to him about early hours this morning. He has just completed his trip. He's back on his feet again, very, very fit. This is what Nigerians need. But Akeredolu, being a selfish individual, have now decided that he will do the needful and allow peace to reign in Ondo State, where he's now on his way back again, maybe to Germany, who knows, for his medical trip.
Well, listeners, it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, Akeredolu sees common sense now, and let's see what is happening. But it's another story. That is a court order recognized. No. Just a minute. I saw one that I did mention earlier, and I wanted to get that because link it with this one. Oh boy. It's a court ruling as well, but it's gone. So let's continue. Powerful Nigerians, we did talk about that earlier on. Now, so what is Alake?
Alake.
What is he going to do about that? If he knows those people who he says are behind the scenes doing all sorts.
Well, it seems that he might have a lot to do because he's the current, minister, from, state first, minister of solid mineral. We've talked about, illegal mining. And, when this article came out from him as he's trying to defend the 2024 budget, I am not surprised. Many Nigerians are probably not surprised. It is just that, again, we have seen a country where corruption is not just, biting, it's destroying lives, it's killing lives, and many of the resources that this blessed continent have not been used, for the fruitful of many. And when I say, the crude oil itself is just the increment of the devil, but again, it tells you that the mining, which Dele Alake said yesterday, that powerful Nigerians are involved in the illegal mining. They are not just illegal mining, they are also sponsoring the banditry and the terrorism in the country. That shows that many Nigerians that continue to say, why are we speaking out for them, are also being affected by big man using terrorism to kill them, to kidnap them, pay ransom. Mr. Archie, since September, 4 innocent Nigerians that travel from Akwa Ibom heading to Sokoto for the NYSC are still in the captive of terrorism. That shows that, terrorist, that shows that the big man kidnapped the same Nigerian, sending them to do youth copper. And when they come out, I can tell you people in the last 10 years that have done the same NYSC doesn't have a job.
So sad. But interestingly, EFCC has declared former Minister of Power, Olu Agunloye, wanted over alleged $6 billion Mabila hydropower contract. You mean, who is this Olu Agunloye, the former power minister? Is it a recent one from Buhari's time, or who is he?
Well, I think, at some point they will have to probably round up all the ministers under the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, probably even call Buhari and Osibajo so that we can know, what has happened during the, that 8 years. Remember that, the current administration have told us that the former president literally bankrupted almost every sector. The former minister of power, and still Dr. Olu Agunloye, has been declared by the EFCC. But the question is, are these just media, ferry? You declare him and then hands change hands. It seems that maybe it's going to be the next phase, as we saw with the EFCC going after and the DSS, these individual called Emefiele. I don't want to use the name that people call Emefiele. We'll see if we can get the image of these individual. But like I said, it is just that the mismanagement of that country has literally led to many Nigerians today end up praying that they just hope that something would happen. Whatever is going to happen, like you said, nobody knows. But if we do nothing, nothing is going to change. And that is what the East Timorians did by fighting hard to get themselves free from the bondage of the Indonesian government for 24 years when they were being manipulated, genocide, about 180,000 people died. But today, East Timor got independent just in 2002, 1.3 million, they are finding their feet. But like I said, $6 billion hydropower project. EFCC have now declared this former minister wanted. Well, the question is whether he's even somewhere in the Caribbean or America. Who knows? That shows that if they've declared him wanted, he's currently not in Nigeria.
Wow, interesting one.
They've actually allowed him to flee before they declare him wanted. That's probably what they've done. Yeah. Because they could have stopped him.
Sad.
Yeah.
It is sad. Well, listen, Starr in the UK. Angela Dele, once again, thank you very much for joining in. And as many of you have joined us on the various sister platforms, wherever you are, we salute each and every one of you. Now, let me ask you something, then I can hand the baton to you. Now, the presidents, when they are leaving office, they are giving some huge sums of money, or the crude oil. I bet they have a percentage daily or something that they get, right?
Yes.
Can they deduct whatever, what, hell or menace that the former president did, the hell that he caused when it comes to the economy? Can they deduct that money from his money?
Well, it's not just crude oil. We've seen evidence or also messages that have said that some few presidents that have passed through have also commissioned from MTN and also some of these multinational organizations. The question again is when you are there, since nobody can ask question, we thought the military were bad until the civilian took over in 1999. They've been one of the worst that we've ever witnessed till date. And as many Nigerians will continue just to say, God will come and fight for them, but I'm not too sure whether God is coming if we do not speak out and ask questions and then ask questions and questions until those questions will not be answered, but with the push, like Akeredolu, the push forced him out. We hope he gets better and take over when he's fit, but we don't want an inept governor sitting somewhere in Ibadan when the state is in a total chaos.
Well, someone saw this and he was talking about it, and he says revolution now, and they pursued him, and he's still in the country because he saw that whatever they are doing, they are not there to serve us. But Yomi is here to serve you, and therefore we'll go back to Yomi for the rest of the stories making the rounds. Over to you, Yomi.
Well, as we always say, Nigeria is still not safe as much as the president and the minister of information might say so. But this is now coming again from the UK diplomat, the UK High Commissioner to Nigeria, that have just come out with another, memo. Especially many diasporans that are living in UK will be traveling home for the festival period. I mean, we do not say not to travel, but you must adhere with this information that we are passing on this platform. The UK has now warned the citizens against traveling to River State. Mr. Archie, what I've saw in River in the last few days, it's so sad. I'm talking about killings, beheading. We can't show these images, and it's just so sad that things have gone very worse, in almost every part of Nigeria. You must not go to Kaduna State, and also 21 other states. The British nationals were also warned about attacks on the military installation, and likewise, the United Kingdom government has warned its citizens against traveling to riverine areas of Delta, Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, Cross River over the recent attack and the target killings. This is coming in the travel advisory from the Foreign and the Commonwealth Development Office website. British national warn against all travel essential to Abia State, Anambra State, and Imo State. And like I always say, may Nigeria not happen to single one of us. It's just 22 minutes past. We're going to take a few more. Abuja is capital of Nigeria, but it's fast turning into slum, like Lagos, Surveyor General. Abdulganiu Adebomehi, the Surveyor General of the Federation, says Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, is fast turning into a slum, and he can literally just link that to Lagos State. Well, the question is Lagos a slum? Well, I'm sure we leave that for our listeners to put that in the comment section. But many people think that Lagos is fast becoming unable to cope, with the total numbers of people that are trooping in when the resources is becoming very difficult. So they have literally used Lagos as their earmark, and we will leave it like that. Abdulganil says that the Federal Capital Territory is fast turning into a slum. Not too sure how Governor Sanwo-Olu will be taking this and reacting to that. He stated that he stated these at a meeting of the stakeholders that was organized of the Representative Committee on Urban Development and Regional Planning in Abuja. Lagos also houses regional planning, but it seems that whatever happened, we saw demolition of houses. Whoever was behind, giving out some of these planning that shouldn't have happened, turned to be why many are saying that is a target of the Igbos in Lagos State. Abuja is fast turning into slum, and you need to talk to those in charge. We are losing it so fast in Lagos. Abuja should not be allowed to toe that path. Like I said, Lagos has been described as a city of extremes. One on one end is Eco Atlantic, is a multi-billion-dollar luxury island, probably not for the masses, but for the rich and the wealth. Even the American embassy will be built around that area. It's going to be one of the biggest in Africa, from what we are told. But the question again is, as trashes, rocks and sands in Osumbe sit on the compact trash, Mr. Adeboyin told the Nigerian lawmaker, if care is not taken, that the ugly trend of Abuja will end up like Lagos, and this must be addressed. Like I said, I'm sure the Lagos state governor will probably be reacting to this. Gombe Assembly passes Governor Yaya 208 billion 2024 budget. When we get all this budget being presented, the question is, how far will this budget for many innocent Nigerians from each state? Every one of them is presenting their budget, but again, the crisis in Rivers State means that they are actually demolishing the House of Assembly building complex. Not too sure whether it's a deliberate act or maybe there's a structural deficit that needs to be adjust, but you can tell that the wastage in the country. But since Rivers State is also one of the states in Nigeria that has so much wealth, taking down one and building one probably maybe something we should ask question. Not a very good one coming now. The OAU final year student dies in a road accident on the campus. The question then is, how did this happen? The deceased was a student of agricultural economics in the Faculty of Agriculture at Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State. Have confirmed the death of a final year student, Chizo Inwako, in a road accident within the campus. The deceased was a student of agricultural economics at the Faculty of Agriculture. The institution spokesperson Abiodun Olanrewaju told journalists yesterday. Mr. Olanrewaju said the deceased was involved in an accident on the campus and unfortunately died. He added that a demise is a colossal loss to the department of the faculty. He appealed to motorists and motorcyclists to be conscious of the traffic law and reduce speeding within and outside the campus. If such a very drastic accident happened, it just reminds me of how Tolulope Arotile, the first Nigerian Air Force combat pilot, was killed as friends, according to what we are told, reversed into her just to say hello. She eventually died. We've talked about the life expectancy in Nigeria, and many Nigerians needs to understand that the reason why this life expectancy is not getting better is because of the poor management and access to the basic things of life. Like we talked about, when almost one of our team, had to be admitted on emergency yesterday, and it cost 11,000. Not everybody has 11,000, and sometimes people will die if care is not taken. According to the new headline, life expectancy rate increased from 2015 to 2022, according to the NBS. The NBS said the projected population figure of Nigeria in 2022 was 216 million, comprising 108 million males and 108 million females as well. The life expectancy rate for the males and the females in Nigeria witnessed a gradual, continuous increase from 2015. That will link me to the next headline, as many people needs to be very careful. I read the story, I thought it was a joke, but to be honest with you, it is a real story, because a man have allegedly come on the Facebook, so not allegedly, because it has now become, evidence, because I've seen, the evidence. Friends tried to rescue him. He came on the Facebook and started talking about committing suicide. Please do not commit suicide. If you're going through depression, at any point, you must speak to somebody. He actually took his life for losing 2.5 million to betting. We pray for the family. A Facebook user identified as Ona Chukwuma yesterday took his own life by ingesting insecticide, allegedly for losing 2.5 million naira to betting. Because of the time constraint, I'm going to come back again to you in the studio. But later on at 6 p.m., 1800 hours, we're going to be talking about, while we have naira scarcity, we might have another guest, but not to confirm yet, to talk about our health when it comes to kidney.
Well, our health when it comes to the kidneys, very important, very, very important. But once again, when it comes to this man who was allegedly on Facebook threatening to take his own life for losing. Now, what rules are there for the gambling industry in Nigeria? Is there a support system for them? Like here, people and then so there is a limitation. You go a bit, and they have those who use app to do it. There's a way to regulate it so that you are not able to do that. But is there anything of the sort as support in Nigeria?
Well, yes, I mean, there's a lot of, because as the gambling becomes one of the ways that many Nigerians thought that they could finally, get into, making extra money, but sometimes it becomes, something that is addictive for some of them. And like you said, this young man died, after he lost 2.5 million naira, which is equivalent to, with the exchange rate today, is still less than 2,000 pounds. But in Nigeria, yes, we have the Nigerian Gambling Commission, and I'm just taking us back to, how many Nigerians are now saying that there should be a thorough regulation. And I'm taking you back to just 3 weeks ago. Gambling regulation in Nigeria should be NLRC to be scrapped. Is coming from one of the headlines. And what does that mean in details? The National Lottery Regulation Commission, NLRC, in Nigeria was established with the aim of regulating and also overseeing the lottery and gambling industry in the country. However, there have been growing concerns, criticism regarding the effectiveness, efficiency of the commission in the fulfilling its objective. It then becomes imperative to now examine the reason why the stakeholders in the industry feel that the NLRC should be scrapped. So that is 3 weeks ago, and you could tell that if somebody end up taking his life for losing such amount of money, maybe there should have been a cap, or maybe there should have been some kind of orientation to support those that have become addict to the gambling.
Well, may his soul rest in perfect peace. To the family, our condolences as well. Listeners, Starr Radio UK, Yomi has talked about what is going to be talking about this evening on the Niger Voices, and we want to be part of it. That program comes your way every Wednesday, 18 hours or 6 p.m. UK time. All right, then? Yes, sir. Yomi, before you go.
Let's pray that the 9-year-old boy that have disappeared in Lagos State, as the father has now lamented, Olasukomi Adeyemi, the father of a 9-year-old Emmanuel Adeyemi, has lamented the sudden disappearance of his child in Lagos State. While speaking yesterday, narrated that his child went missing while on an evangelical outreach in Orile Agege area of the state since November the 19th. He said the situation has literally plunged his family into distress and agony. Narrating that, we went to an evangelism outreach 3 weeks ago on a Sunday with the church. While we go to pray, while in the church, my wife brought him to me. I took him to the bus where the other children were staying. I sat him down and quickly went to buy a drink for him because he was ill. It wasn't only my child who was in the bus. There were many other children there. After I gave him the drink, I went to the bus. We were meant to go and begin the journey. The bus was at the front while ours was following behind. But again, another child I've lost in Lagos, and we hope the family will be able to find these through the government. But I'm sure if that has been since the 19th of November, your guess is as good as mine.
Oh, my. That is a serious one because, again, he should have checked whether the boy was on that bus that was in front of them or ahead of them. And again, because if the child wasn't feeling well, what if he came down to say we're going to use the toilet or something, and then the bus departed without him?
Well, like I said, it just shows so many mismanagement and lack of, things that have happened in a country that can't take care of itself, talk less of taking care of those young, innocent children.
Well, we pray that this young boy is found, and if you are listening to us and you've heard or you've seen any young boy of that sort, please get in touch with the security agencies and let them help them out. Yomi, let me say thank you very, very much. I will hope to see you later in the studio. You're coming into the studio, right?
Yes, I will, yes.
Yes, yes, yes. We'll see you in the studio. All right then.
Bye for
So
now.
have a lovely day, and we catch up later.
Bye for now.
Bye bye. Well, listeners, that has been Mr. Laimi Koiki bringing you updates from Nigeria. We're going to be bringing you more from that front. So wherever you are, don't touch the dial. Let's enjoy this music. It is from Nigeria. It's the 12 days of Christmas in Nigeria.
I've got 12 days of Christmas, Shito country. Moki Baba Boye, Silver Badmos, Mr. Luatoyi, Shegoni, thank you so much. Egbomi Richard, Alabi, Mokini, Bubu Lagos Island, Innovate, thank you so much, Triple DRS. I need to start heading out right now because I'm traveling on the bus. I love the bus. I need to leave enough time. Biafra flag is raised in Imo State. God bless Biafra. Nigeria is a business between the British and some few elite. There's no doubt about it. We know that. And they don't want Nigeria to break anyway. So we got to put the last oxygen. We must put the last oxygen in Nigeria. Sahid, Miss Gold, Mrs. Taiwo Kike. Hey, my grandma, Yamidada, Yawa Comfort, Ologunja. Thank you so much. 9 years old. Unfortunately, I believe is dead. In Lagos State. It's a sad story. I pray that nobody will lose a son. Let me put this before I go. On Sunday, we had this, our beautiful mother that joined us, the Sosoliso plane crash. I'm sure many of you remember. Many Nigerians are going through a lot, and Nigerians have affected millions of people quietly. I won't be more than you. I received a call yesterday from another mother that lives in UK, but I'm not going to give too much location. She reached out to me. She said, I was listening to your broadcast from Sunday with our mother that lost her son that will have been 32 years old next year. Brilliant son. But as we all say, may Nigeria not happen to you. He died, during the Sosoliso plane crash in 2005. This our mother that called me says, while she was listening to that program, you might think people are not listening to me. They are listening, around the world. And I appreciate every one of you. Please help us to share my program. I didn't even realize, I know that we have been affected with the social media in terms of our message traveling fast. But my director, I have a director as well, was telling me that we have been shadow banned. I didn't know what that means until I went to check it out. So what means that is some of you are not seeing my notification when I go live, notification. Some of you also are not getting our message when we go live. So it is entirely up to Inten Gbowa to make sure that you click on that button because sometimes they might have removed it automatically. Anyway, to fast forward quickly because I'm very pressed with time. I got to be out of the house very soon. The mother said to me that she also have another daughter that was being treated in Nigeria for malaria. I mean, that is the basic thing they'll treat you for. But if things were done properly and everybody can be able to have a better access to good quality medical, maybe things will have been detected and sometimes we could treat it. Our mother says she lost a daughter, not in Nigeria. The daughter finally got to UK after years, but they find out that it was not malaria that was wrong with her. She had a leukemia. Is it leukemia? Yeah. She had this very terrible disease that should have been dealt with. But as we always say, many Nigerians have been treated for the wrong illness, and you end up dying for the negligence of the medical problem in Nigeria today. Yeah, leukemia. Yeah, thank you so much. Just reason. She died in the UK. She would have been 18 years old from what she said. She was another brilliant girl, but as things goes, we can only pray. So my question again before I go this morning is, how has Nigeria affected you, and how do you think it will not affect you in the near future if we remain as Nigerians? My name is Koiki. Shout out to my beautiful wife, and thank you so much to every single one of you that have joined. I'll be back at 6 p.m. We have a very packed program. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to squeeze everything in. I want to speak to Bishop Adesina, the Naira scarcity. There might be another mother of ours that wants to come and talk about health. I want to link up with Yoruba Nation security for the Southwest, So we're speaking to somebody that has a bit of understanding, of the region. And also, there's a university here in UK that I want to speak to as well. So it's going to be a very packed program, and that's why I want to make sure I get to the studio ahead of time. May God bless Yoruba land, because God is not going to bless Nigeria. So don't expect me to say may God bless. Even if I do mistakes, say God bless Nigeria, I will reverse it. Okay, so don't think I will not. God is not going to bless any Nigeria. God has actually pulled out from Nigeria, but God stays with Yoruba land, God stays with Arewa land, God stays with every indigenous people. If you're still one of those praying for Nigeria, I would also say, I pray that Nigeria would not happen to you. Thank you so much, and have a very good morning. Bye for now. Mokiawa Grace Olushoto, Prince Ayo Mokinyi. If I didn't mention your name, don't take it as anything. It's just I probably didn't see you. Thank you so much. But I'll probably be doing some programs when I'm moving out, on my way out. Bye for now.